just recent report. It's not proven.
Okay, hold on. I forgot to set this up. Okay. This is Bono, of all people. Bono goes on the Joe Rogan show. And now this new thing that you saw the other day I posted when the guy went on MSNBC said, I think it was yesterday I posted it, where the guy was like, hey, it's 300,000 people dying. They're all dying because of USAID.
I just want to say, we can tell the Elon story and this kind of disciplining by democracy as a story of someone leaving. But there is pain in the wake of these tariffs, and there's pain in the wake of what Elon did. He talked about bringing the wood chipper to USAID. Brooke Nichols, Boston University professor, mathematician, figured out what is the effect of this. They have a tracker. 300,000 deaths. According to a Boston University professor, because of the aid cuts so far, 200,000 of them children. Okay, Vietnam War, y'all remember that? 60,000 U.S. service members died. This is 5 times more deaths, according to the Boston University study, because of aid cuts since January of this year. So Elon Musk is leaving, but he's also leaving a legacy. But I think it's really important that people remember the courts work. Joe and I have been having a 10-year conversation about our institutions standing up or not. The courts work still, not perfectly. There's problems, but courts work, lawsuits work, and pressure works, and people raising their voice works. It's not just that Washington always wins. I think the people always win.
Sorry, I'd rather that money be spent on Americans. Wave the flag, red, white, and blue. Let's focus on America. Well, Bono decides it's now his pet project to complain about the poor kids dying in other countries, which is in itself kind of weird. But he posts or talks about the exact same study. Now listen to this. I told you yesterday, or you heard this guy from MSNBC, I've got this study from Boston University that says, well, who the hell wrote it? But now all that has to be done is for people to begin talking about this thing. And everybody's like, hey, did you know, by the way? Well, here comes Bono.
Just recent report. It's not proven, but the surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID. So there's food rotting in boats, in warehouses. There is you will not be happy, no American will, but there is, I think it's 50,000 tons of food that are stored in Djibouti, South Africa, Dubai, and wait for it, Houston, Texas.
Okay, Bono, I love your music, by the way, but you bat poop crazy. So there's all this food being stored in, wait for it, Houston, okay? That's just sitting there rotting away. Let me ask you guys a question. I remember all the way back when I was in kindergarten and when they had the trick or treat for UNICEF and everything else, and every time we sent aid to these other countries, you remember ever sending perishable goods? No, because it's going to Djibouti or whatever. It's usually canned stuff and flour and rice and oatmeal. Ain't nobody sending steak to Djibouti. What do you mean it's going stale? And guess what? It's in Houston. Okay, so there's a warehouse full of food in Houston. Good for people in Houston. This is the biggest crap I've ever heard. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're not sending perishable items out into the desert. And this guy's trying to tell Joe Rogan, it's awful, man. It's just pitiful, man. All this stuff is just spoiling. What's spoiling? That should have been Rogan's next question. Tell me what exactly is spoiling. Because I've done food drives, I've done all kinds of things for the poor people. And the only thing we ever gave out that had a perishable item to it was on Thanksgiving. We went out and we gave turkeys to the poor people. Went to the projects and gave them turkey, handed it to them. Here's your turkey. Everything else, even if you go into a grocery store, what is it? It's canned goods. It's rice. It's oatmeal. It's the stuff they eat on Survivor. Ain't nobody putting, let me put some steak and roast beef in this box. So right away you know he's lying. No one's sending a refrigerator truck full of milk over to Djibouti. These liberals are absolutely nuts, and they think you're nuts. Now, and I'm not even talking about the fact of, why don't we just keep it here? I mean, that's the whole other argument. I'm worried about his lie right now, and the 300,000 people dead. You got any pictures? Hey, Bono, I'm sure you got a jet. Why don't you fly over to Djibouti and take some pictures of the 300,000 graves? Make it make sense. But you go on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan wasn't having it. No, not at all.
And that is rotting rather than going to Gaza, rather than going to Sudan, because the people who know the codes or for the warehouse are fired. They're gone.
The people who know, what do you think this is? Public storage? They drive up and put the codes in and drive in? They can't think Americans are this stupid. They can't possibly. Go play a benefit concert over there. Go play for the Sudanese people, and instead of charging money for tickets, have them people send over spaghetti. You're English, bring over some, corned beef and hash or something. What in the hell are you talking about? Man, it makes me... You guys remember Sam Kinison, don't you? Sam Kinison was dirty. I mean, he was dirty, and he had a couple dirty things he said. But I just remember one joke, Sam. It's Saturday. It's Saturday night. It's Saturday evening. Let's talk about Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison did a comedy bit that I remember Robin and I watched it 20, 30 years ago, and we're rolling on the floor. And he's like, hey, we're going over to, Sudan, and we're bringing these people food. And it just dawned on me. We're spending all this money doing this every single year. Why don't we just bring these people to where the food is? We have deserts, we just don't live in them, except Las Vegas. And I'm thinking to myself, we are the world, all these things. You've been shipping food to these places that are godforsaken. Instead of just saying, you know what, maybe we should get you with two-season and people on trucks to move you to where the food is. Or maybe we should get you some prophylactics so you don't keep having kids that you can't feed. But nonetheless, it's our fault, Americans' fault. Maybe they shouldn't be taking Juvenile. Maybe we need to do everything so that maybe their flags don't rise. You're talking about perpetual need. These people have been needy since I was this high in grade school. Every single one of you know the exact same thing. We got to give cups. Hey, here's a cup. We're going to send people on a mission. And I even think of that when I'm in church, and I'm like, we've been sending people on missions for like 80 years. Why don't we just go pick them up? Bring them to other parts of Africa that are industrialized. Not here. But I don't get it. It's a never-ending loss. I'm sorry, I like to consider myself a winner. I want to win. To me, a win would be taking these people to where they can enjoy life. I don't want them out there starving and becoming lion bait. How about we take them to like the industrial place, or how about this? How about to one of these cities in China that are empty? Maybe we just fly them all over there. They're up there blowing up buildings because they can't keep people in these apartment buildings. You've seen it. So why are we spending so much money feeding people who live in places where food doesn't grow, where actually they're the food? How about we take them to some place where they can live and be taught? Ever think about that? It was a Sam Kinison joke, but he was absolutely right. Why do we just keep 50, 60 years to trick or treat for UNICEF? We are the world. Well, why didn't you take those albums and build houses where they actually could live? Nobody asks that question. No liberals ever want to answer that. And now he's crying to Joe Rogan about, USAID and what Elon Musk did. Man, it's a bad rap, man. These people are dying, man.
And so this, I don't know. What do you think? What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing.
Yeah, it's America that you want it to be. Funny. You made the songs, you made the albums, you did all these things. And I'm sure he's done some work for people in need. I don't know if he's done it for people in Detroit. I don't know if he's done it for people in Chicago, Pennsylvania, West Palm Beach, Florida. Why are we always last? That doesn't mean we don't care about people in other countries, but America first has become a bad word. Somebody explain it to me. Somebody explain to me why you wouldn't want your own country strong first. You've heard it many times when you've flown in an airplane. What does it say? Put your mask on first and then take care of the other people. Well, it's time America puts on, well, not that kind of mask, but you know what? Take care of ourselves first, then we can take care of the starving kids. Is that selfish? No. Because we need to take care of ourselves first. We can't exist as a country if we can't. We're $36 trillion in debt. To who? I don't know. Can we take care of that first? Hey, sorry. Right now we're closing ranks and we're going to take care of America. Oh, what a concept.
Be out with the bathwater.
Right.
This is the problem. The problem is, for sure, there have been a lot of organizations that do tremendous good all throughout the world. Also, for sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure, there was no oversight. For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for, that were sent off into various, they don't even know where because there's no receipts. The way Elon Musk described it, he said if any of this was done by a public company, the company would be delisted and the executives would be in prison. But in the United States, this is standard. When
I can guarantee you, because I've worked on a few shows with you too, and a band of that stature commands huge money. A band of that stature doesn't even get a guaranteed, they get a guarantee, but they get basically a percentage of the ticket prices. It's not just like you can say, hey, we'll give you $1 million, come play. We want $1 million guarantee, but we also want, it's versus 80-90% of the gross. Meaning if you sell 50,000 tickets at $100 a pop, we're going to take 90% of that. It's way over the guarantee. Now let's just say, I don't know, Bono shows up at the arena in Miami and they sell 20,000 tickets. I'm like, hey man, yeah, how much you bring in ticket sales today? We just brought in like 10 grand. What? Yeah, we only got, it looks like we only got 10 grand here. What happened to the other 4 million? Don't know. But you're due on stage in 10 minutes. I'm not playing. Oh, yes, you are. We have a contract. But I'm not getting all my money. So I'm not playing. Oh, so that would be how he would work it. But here, because we have so much fraud, we don't know where the money's going. We can't account for it. We don't know how many tickets were sold. We don't know how many people drank beers. We don't know how many people bought t-shirts. We don't know how many people blah, 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 blah. We don't know how many people paid for the streaming. So you just have to just go with it, okay? What do you think he and the Edge would do? They'd get back on the tour bus and leave. That's America. You see, U2 is America. U2 isn't playing without knowing how much revenue there was. They don't care that the promoter took $3 million and took off to El Salvador or whatever. They want to get paid. So why is it okay for them and not for us? There's no way they would go on stage if they figured out that someone was stealing all the money and sending it to their friends or wherever. They'd like, we need to get paid or we're not playing. Guess what? we're not playing anymore. Thank you, Bono. We're going to do the exact same thing you would do. We're not playing anymore. We're not getting on stage. It's over. It's done. Someone stole all of our ticket sales. There it is. But he doesn't want to hear that, so Joe's giving it to him.
Biden left office when it was clear that Trump won. In the 73 days, they spent $93 billion from the Department of Energy on just radical loans, just throwing money into places.
Right.
And there's no oversight, no receipts. Like the whole thing there's a lot of fraud, a lot of money laundering.
Did you hear him in the background? Right. Well, if you knew what Joe is saying is right, what in the hell are you talking about? Our accounting system is screwed. And we needed Elon Musk to come in and go, hey guys, there's $90 billion they spent here. Where'd it go? I don't know. Why aren't you yelling at the Democrats? You've had 4 years. Trump's been in there 4 months, 5 months. In 4 years, hundreds of billions and gazillions of dollars have flown into it. Where? And no one in the media is going, why didn't you take care of the kids in Djibouti? Oh, he didn't feel like it. I had to line my pocket, needed a new yacht. But the kids in Djibouti are starving. Oh, Trump will feed them. We don't care. Get out of my office. That's why you can't trust these people in the media. The questions you're asking now and the freaking out that you're having now, you didn't have then. And those kids were still starving last week, 6 months ago. They didn't start starving today. And you're telling me that you think 300,000 kids are dying in Djibouti and Sudan and everything else because Elon Musk stopped USAID? Well, then you'd have to show me the receipts that they were getting it before. Nobody asked those questions. Because all of a sudden, if they're dying, then something had to stop. And if something stopped, you should have the receipts that showed the flow. So show me the food that was coming to Djibouti on a monthly basis for gazillion dollars, and we can talk. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.